Hello, everybody, and welcome to a live recording of Guide to the Unknown. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
And you know the deal. We're going to record an episode right now.
Yeah.
Maybe everything makes the cut. Maybe some things don't. You have
But
to
you
wait
get
and
to
see.
see.
Yeah, let's find out what happens.
Okay.
Kristen, kick off the show.
All right. Here we go. Hello. Welcome to Guide to the Unknown. I'm Kristen.
And I'm her little brother, William.
And this week we are back with more of your hot takes as well as ours.
That's right.
You sent in so many awesome controversial opinions that we could fill 3 episodes with them. So if you haven't listened to the first 2, go back in the feed and find them because they're all awesome.
Yeah, we're going to light the world on fire. You've seen the headlines, people saying, Will and Kristen said, what? What opinion did they hold that ignited some of us?
This firestorm, it started hashtags on Twitter. It has been crazy. William, let's break the internet for the 3rd time.
It's time to do it.
Woo! Why don't you start us off with one of your hot takes?
Okay, brace yourselves. It's a light one.
Okay.
Should I go light or should I go surprising?
Surprising first.
Surprising? We'll go surprising first. All right. I've done my research over the course of decades, and I think I'm ready to declare in 2021, at the age of 34, my present belief is that the Friday the 13th movie series is superior to the Halloween movie series.
This is heavy.
Yes.
This is heavy.
I know you're surprised. I can tell. I'm looking right at you.
Yeah.
It's a pound for pound thing, right? I think it's hard for anything to stand up to how good the original Halloween is.
Right.
I like the original Friday the 13th quite a bit.
It's very good.
But it's not the sort of, like, to me, like, perfect, tense, suspenseful work of art that Halloween is.
Right.
And admittedly, Michael Myers comes right out the gate fully baked,
yes.
I think. The more that they went in that series, the more he got undone.
Yes.
They tried to shoehorn things in. A man in a black cloak running around, pulling the strings.
Right.
The Cult of Thorn, really? He's stalking his, like, step cousin at one point, I think.
Yeah, it's
He's, like, stalking somebody from the Strode family.
Yeah.
Which is Laurie Strode's adoptive family. It's
right.
like, what? What are we doing?
Why do we care so much about them?
So he gets undone the more he goes on because he came out perfect. Friday the 13th didn't start perfect, but they got better as they went. And I think that I can enjoy more of the Friday the 13th movies than I enjoy of the Halloween series.
I guess when you put it that way, then I'm not surprised to hear it.
Right. I'm talking franchise, not individual movie. If it's individual movie, Halloween 1 will just keep winning. It's the fact that I think that some of the later entries of Friday the 13th, while bad, are either equally as bad as the bad Halloween ones or slightly less bad. I can't stand Halloween 6.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I have not seen all of the sequels of both franchises.
Okay.
So I feel like I kind of almost don't even have a horse in this race.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think that generally Halloween is seen as the better thing.
Yes.
So that's why my knee-jerk response is, what? But I know that you said that some of the Friday the 13th movies that you have recently marathoned were extremely good. I think you said either the 5th or 6th movie.
6th. Friday the 13th 6 is wonderful.
Right.
It's like a meta horror comedy way before Scream.
Right.
Go watch it. Very, very entertaining.
And a lot of the sequels for Halloween are real stinkeroos.
Real hard to watch, real self-serious.
Yeah.
Or really weirdly wacky, like there are just 2
It's all over the place.
It's all over the place. And Rob Zombie made 2 of them.
I don't really count that.
They're in there.
I think of them as their own separate thing, though.
Unfortunately, they're part of it.
So do you think of the Halloween, or the Friday the 13th remake with like Jared Padalecki as part of Friday the 13th? You think of that?
I do.
I think of that as a separate thing too.
Because it's like sort of a separate storyline?
Yeah. And like a different person made it. It's just like not part of the same era.
Well, none of these movies were made by the same person.
Well, I know, but well, that's true. But like, it's not part of the same progression.
I agree with
you.
you.
They live outside the sequels.
They do. The reboot nomenclature is kind of silly anyway.
Yeah.
Like Halloween, they literally started to try to tell the story of Michael Myers, so that reboot makes sense. But like the Friday the 13th reboot, even though they tell something, it's like you could just be like the retconning part of the story and just doing another sequel, kind of.
Right.
But I see what you mean. They do have a different flavor. They do feel like they're a different animal, but they're part of it. It's the Friday the 13th series.
Yeah.
The Halloween series.
Yeah.
The Halloween series has 3 movies called Halloween.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
There's just a lot going on there.
There's a lot going on. It's true.
Messy. The timeline in Halloween is far more messy.
Yeah.
Than the timeline in Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the timeline in Friday the 13th is ridiculous.
It's absurd.
But it's not messy in the same way, where it's not like, okay, you have to forget that there were these sequels and just jump into the future knowing only what you know from the first movie, even though there were 7 movies in the interim.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, you can watch Halloween, or you can watch Halloween and Halloween 2, or you can ignore that and watch Halloween 3, or you can watch Halloween 2, and Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Or you can ignore Halloween's 3, 4, 5, and 6 and watch Halloween 2, and Halloween 7.
Yeah.
And then you can watch Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween Resurrection. Or you can ignore all that and start over with Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2. Or you can ignore everything since the first one and watch Halloween and Halloween 2018.
Right.
So there are like 6 different configurations of a timeline.
Yeah, possible timelines to decide to go by.
It is a mess.
It is a mess.
And the point is, you have to smorgasbord pick what you want of Halloween there, or you can just watch Jason do stuff.
Yes.
So it's simpler
It's true.
in that sense. It is sometimes laughable. Friday the 13th, by the way, this is not an argument that Friday the 13th is clean or consistent in quality.
I think the storyline is clean. We are consistently following Jason doing stuff, and you can just watch those movies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but and it all makes sense, even though it's ridiculous sometimes.
Yes. Also, in a previous Hot Takes episode, I said sequels are wonderful or can be wonderful.
Yeah.
I think that the exception to that rule is when the first one is like perfect. Halloween is perfect.
Halloween is perfect.
And
I love Halloween.
spend, 10 more movies trying to figure out, well, how do we do more?
Yeah.
How do we do more from perfect? How do you retcon perfect? Meanwhile, Friday the 13th was like, Halloween was popular. You want to do that?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we killed her at the end of that. What should we do? Maybe the kid, they mentioned Jason. You want to do that? And like they're learning as they go. And they're like, well, what worked? What didn't? All right, let's get the bag off his head in 3.
Yeah.
You want to try a hockey mask this time? Oh, people love that. All right, keep doing that. Like they refine.
Right.
So the sequel process of Friday the 13th refined that franchise versus the sequel process of Halloween destroyed that franchise.
Yeah. Well, it could have destroyed it if people didn't have so much affection for the first one and for Michael Myers as a character in general, because a lot of people are willing to just roll with it because it's Halloween and it has such a legacy presence.
As can I, and I will be there for Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends.
Oh, I said to Will the other day, I can't wait for Halloween Kills. And Will said, why?
I know.
I said, because,
I can wait.
Yeah,
but
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it so much.
Yeah, hot take.
So much.
Hot take, I didn't like Halloween 2018.
I mean, everybody knows that who listens to the show, but maybe you don't listen to the show.
Yeah.
William and I have talked a lot about how we did not like Halloween 2018.
It's a shocker.
Yeah, it's a hot take, all right.
It's a shocker.
Well, you know what, William? Are you done with what you have to say about that?
Sure.
Because that could roll me into one of my hot takes. Okay?
I'm prepared.
About Halloween 2018.
Okay.
I think, again, perhaps pound for pound is a good way to say this. I think that I get more enjoyment out of movie trailers than movies themselves.
This is interesting.
If you had some way to measure enjoyment in points,
right?
Like there was an enjoyometer, and you could hook that up to me in the duration of a whole movie and the smaller duration of a movie trailer, I bet I am going higher off the chart during a movie trailer than the accumulation of joy during a movie.
That's interesting.
It is more concentrated in a trailer.
I was going to say, let's unpack this a little bit. So a trailer is obviously shorter length.
Yes.
But you didn't watch Quibi, right?
No, I did not watch Quibi.
So it's not necessarily length that's key here. It's that you're getting a lot of story.
Yes.
Very, very quickly.
Yes.
A lot of
excitement.
Yeah.
And they're constructing it to make it exciting. There's score at certain points that like really hit in a trailer where there's no score in the movie. So it makes those points, those acts, seem more significant in the trailer than they would in the movie. And it gives me more of a jolt that's making that joyometer go, whoa. Whereas in the movie, it's like, ugh.
So did you bring up Halloween 2018 because the trailer
Yes.
was...
I thought the trailer was really good. I was really excited for Halloween 2018.
Right.
And it's an extreme example because that movie ended up biting. But then in the movie, like the movie sucks. But the trailer, I was extremely excited about.
Yeah, but could that also be part of the hype of, oh, hey, it's back?
Sometimes it is, but that's fine. I'm still feeling that enjoyment. There's still I'm not even necessarily talking about the craft of the trailer.
But you would never sit and just watch trailers.
I watch trailers a lot. I will rewatch a trailer and rewatch a trailer.
No, okay.
You know how many times I've seen the trailer for The Batman? A lot of times. Because I'm like, woo, this is going to be something.
There's like a difference between these things, though. You don't sit around and watch a bunch of trailers.
Well, no.
You will watch a trailer for something that you want to see
a
lot of times because you're excited for it.
I have gone back and watched trailers, though, that I know were really good. Been like, man, that trailer for I don't know what was really good. Even though I've seen the movie since, I want to watch that trailer again.
I want to dig more into this, but I will say that's a sort of a point for you. I have gone back to rewatch the trailers for Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You.
Yeah.
Because I thought that they were particularly fun.
Some trailers are really good. And I remember being like excited about the thing. I know I'm so obsessed with Batman. Lord help me.
You love Batman.
I love Batman. I remember when it was just a teaser trailer for The Dark Knight came out, and it had the first, like, you could hear Heath Ledger for the first time. And I remember I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh,
sounds
they showed him through
good.
that frosted glass.
It's him. I'm not going to do his voice, obviously.
Why not? You want to know how I got these scars? I'm the Joker, baby.
Because I'm the Joker, baby. It's when he's like, I think it's spliced together. I don't even think they say it exactly this way in the movie. Or maybe he does. But he's like, people will die. I'm a man of my word. In the trailer. And then it's like him doing the laugh. And at that moment in the trailer, so he's talking. It's like a ticking clock thing. It's like, tink, 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 tink. And it's Batman being like, the people deserve justice or whatever. And like the bat signal.
People deserve better.
the bat signal is like zooming in as everybody's talking, and like Alfred is like, they gave their power to a man they didn't quite understand or whatever, and then like the bat signal is zooming in, and then when the Joker says, "Oh man, my word," and he laughs, the bat signal breaks up into like a million bats and flies away, and you're like, oh, what is this gonna be? This is so good. I remember that because I've watched the trailer again, even though I've seen that movie.
Interesting.
So it was a good, exciting trailer. Another example of a trailer that is so good, and then the movie a lot of people liked, I didn't really like, It Chapter 2.
Oh, the trailer for It Chapter 2 is so good.
So hyped.
Yeah.
That is not one I've watched since, so it's not...
I have, actually.
I haven't, but man, that was a good trailer. I just remember I was stirred like nobody's business. And then in the movie, I'm not as stirred.
Even the exact moments from the trailer don't work as well in the movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's
Bill
a
Hader
score.
like screaming and covered in dirt and trying to get out of the arms of whoever's holding him back.
Right.
Hits like a punch in the chest when you watch the trailer. And then in the movie, you're going like, wait. Has he been like pulling, like they had to walk like 3 miles to get to this point. He's been doing this whole time.
Yeah, right.
Like, and you're like, what? What's going on?
Totally. So Halloween 2018.
Maybe I agree with you.
Halloween 2018 and It Chapter 2 aren't the best examples because I don't really like those. Well, I do and I don't. You know what I mean? Like I didn't really enjoy those movies.
Right.
But I do still feel. So I guess The Dark Knight is a different kind of good example where I do really like The Dark Knight, and yet the trailers for it still were like they hit in a different kind of way because they can time things with the music exactly right that don't have to be happening in sequence, and they can make it like super impactful, and it like I'm at like a 10.
If somebody made a show like a half-hour long show that was cut like a trailer, you'd be like exhausted.
Of
right?
course.
Yeah.
Definitely. But trailers are almost like a very, I wouldn't say a perfect medium, it's a little too far, but they are a great medium just in themselves.
Yeah.
A good movie trailer will get me excited in a way that watching the whole movie probably doesn't.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, as a tool of marketing, it's funny because a movie is supposed to also, like, it should be making you feel.
I think it does.
But
make
a trailer
me feel.
for a movie is not made to make you feel what the movie makes you feel. A trailer for a movie is made to make you feel, I'm excited to spend money to see this.
Yes.
So the goal of a trailer is different from the goal of a movie.
Definitely.
You like the goal of a trailer.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It gets me going.
I certainly love a good trailer.
Yes. And some trailers are just so damn good.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, whoo, what a rush.
It's true.
Love a trailer. I love movies too, but guys, I think the power of a trailer can sometimes beat the power of a movie pound for pound.
That's interesting. That's
Point
an interesting
system,
one. That's
whatever.
unusual. That's unusual, but it's interesting.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's move over to some of our listeners' hot takes. And again, thank you so much for sending these in.
Yeah.
Let's start off with Megan. Megan says she has 2 takes about like twos, sequels of things.
Okay.
First, Evil Dead 2 is actually really scary. I can still see the woman in the cellar if I close my eyes.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
I think that that's interesting because most people, I think, would say that Evil Dead 2 is not meant to be the scary one.
Right, it's supposed to be silly.
It's supposed to be silly. It's something of a horror comedy. Evil Dead 1, the original, was meant to be horror, but a lot of people say that it's kind of laughable because you can see like through the effects and stuff. I just like Evil Dead 1. I didn't think it was laughable. I just thought it was very charming and fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Evil Dead 2, I think, is almost like a perfect movie. It might be my sort of like perfect movie.
Yeah.
I don't find it scary.
Right.
I can recognize still, though, that the Deadites that Ash fights in there,
Yes.
the woman in the basement who would be, Dr. Oh, I can't remember the family name.
I don't know.
The Dr. Noby's wife is in the cellar because she turned into a Deadite and he had to dismember her and bury her in the basement. Played by Ted Raimi in that movie. Sam Raimi's brother
cool.
wearing a giant suit. And came back in Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Oh.
That character is in that movie.
I started picking up where I left off with Ash versus Evil Dead, but then I fell off again.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I would watch it again.
I
but
could
it's
see
not
us finishing
a
it
nail biter
in these fits and starts. Like we watched like the first season, I think, and then we watched a handful of the second season, and we have stopped for a while. And I bet we'll pick back up.
The first episode, directed by Sam Raimi, is like almost on Evil Dead 2 level for me of like a nice blend of horror comedy. So I find it interesting that you can really be scared by Evil Dead 2, and so I would call it a hot take for that reason.
I guess just visually. I mean, if she can visually kind of picture that wife, I guess it really stuck in the brain.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah.
fun. I like that. I wish that I could get that particular kind of enjoyment out of it.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid of it.
Yeah.
I love that, though.
I have a friend who dressed up as that character for Halloween one year. Remember when Heather Farrell was...
Sure.
Oh my God, it was so
cool.
good. I'll try to make a note to post this with the episode. If I don't remember, because we're recording these way in advance, feel free on any of our channels at GTTU Pod or in the Facebook group or whatever. Feel free to ask me for that picture if I do forget, because it's really, really cool. She's kind of like a hobby special effects makeup artist, and she did an insane job.
Not to burst your bubble, that is, her costume was from Evil Dead 1.
You know what? I was just thinking it as I
Evil Dead
said
2
it.
is a different character.
I was just thinking that. I was like, am I actually right saying this?
It is also a wonderful costume, so you should definitely share it.
Still ask. But no, I was thinking that. I was like, I actually think I might be wrong here.
A lot of people end up in cellars in those movies.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the second part of Megan's hot takes. They say also Twin Peaks Twin Peaks Season 2 is very good, especially the Agent Cooper and Annie love story. I think I'm the only one who thinks that. Laughy face.
I like that. That's a great hot take. What a great subject matter for a hot take, too.
Absolutely. It's a fun... I almost formulated this for one of my hot takes.
Is that right?
Something Twin Peaksy, and then I was like, oh, you know what? I remember somebody sent it in.
Well, what's your feeling then?
I do think Twin Peaks Season 2 is good. It has a lot of great stuff in it.
Yeah.
So I would still say, yes, it's good. However, whenever I rewatch it, I am like, okay, I get why some people will say that Twin Peaks Season 2 really falls off, because there are parts of it that really bore me or that I'm not interested in. However, I would still say, hell yeah, Twin Peaks Season 2 is really good. That's where all of the like owl kind of mythology stuff comes in, all the cave stuff. It gets a lot more paranormal and mythological and weird in Season 2, and that's a lot of the stuff that is what I love the most about Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So I would never discount it as a whole.
I mean, there are also moments where, Richard Horne is trying to reenact the
That's what I'm saying. There are things in
Civil
it that
War.
I'm not happy with. I don't like the Richard Horne stuff. I don't like James going to that mansion.
Yeah.
I don't care about the pinweasel or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The pine weasel.
Pine weasel.
Yeah.
That's
Squiggy.
Yep. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff in it that I'm like, "Bleh." But overall there's so much good stuff in it, like really good, cool stuff.
Let's make it unanimous. Guide to the Unknown agrees with this hot take.
Oh, I
I like Twin Peaks season 2.
Yes.
Is there stuff in there that I don't like? Of course there is. But do I enjoy it nonetheless? Of course I do. I am duty bound to enjoy Twin Peaks entirely.
Oh yeah.
I must.
Yeah, I simply must. I'm not going to throw out any baby with any bathwater when it comes to Twin Peaks.
Give it all to me. It's fine.
One of my favorite properties of all time.
It's fine. Even when there's not like, crazy Bob stuff going on, even when there's no more Leland Palmer, now we're seeing what the town is usually up to.
Yeah, right.
And it's this.
Yeah.
And we get back to it. Don't worry. We get back to the Red Room. We
certainly do. We certainly do. I mean, there's awesome stuff in season 2.
There certainly is.
Like totally awesome stuff.
Yep.
So I am with you, Megan, and so is William. Hell yeah, season 2 of Twin Peaks is really good. What do you think about the Agent Cooper and Annie love story? Do you have feelings on that either way?
I think because Annie is played by Heather Graham, and I found it distracting that she's Heather Graham.
Yeah.
I don't know that I feel that much about their particular relationship.
Right.
Unfortunately, I think that the Annie character is treated like just a symptom. She is once again meant to be a Laura Palmer-esque figure. So it's not so much who she is or anything, which is a disservice to writing any kind of character. That the point is not for her to have her own humanity or anything like that.
Yes.
And I think it's for that reason I don't feel much for her. But I do like these storylines that emerge because of that romance.
Yeah, I feel kind of similarly. I feel like I actually don't love the Agent Cooper and Annie storyline. It's not for any humongous reason, but I do feel like she is just kind of a little bit of a Laura Palmer avatar.
Right.
And she's almost like infantilized in kind of
I
a
agree.
weird way. Like they really treat her with kid gloves and like she's like a very delicate, beautiful woman.
She's a device. She's not a character.
Although she does have some interesting backstory to her that she had gone to be a nun and then decided not to. Like they do have her filled out somehow, so I can't say that she's just a totally empty shell of a pretty girl character. It's not quite that, but there's just something that doesn't feel fleshed out, and I do feel like she's treated a little preciously or something.
It's weird because Laura Palmer in particular was supposed to be the beauty queen that has a real dark side that no one knew about. And the Heather Graham character of Annie feels to me like it's a lot of surface.
Yeah.
And not a lot of depth. You're right. I forgot about the nun backstory and everything, but she's so sort of innocent feeling.
Well, that's the thing. It's almost, I guess I feel like, why is Agent Cooper so in love with her? And that maybe they have this dynamic that's like strong man, like weak woman, I must protect her sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so it's not really super interesting. I almost wish, I don't know, she's not really fleshed out as much. She doesn't seem like a super interesting person to me. And Agent Cooper is so interesting that it's kind of an odd match. Like, not like a formidable pair in some way. So it ends up just feeling a little, fine. Not everybody has to be so interesting to fall in love with them or anything, but just, I don't know. There's something there that doesn't feel totally right to me.
I agree. Isn't it weird that the entire original series ends on How's Annie?
Yeah, I know.
And we never get that answered?
No, at least not in the show. If you read the Twin Peaks books, then that's answered.
Yeah, that is
answered
there. It's sort of brought up again in Fire Walk with Me, but like Twin Peaks: The Return, nothing.
No,
like Dale Cooper doesn't think about Annie.
No, Yeah, that is odd.
Not weird.
But you know what? I guess I don't think about Annie all that much because I'm not totally sure I even thought about that while I was watching The Return.
It's interesting. I think it's about time for me to do a rewatching. So
I know.
Maybe I'll have a refreshed opinion soon.
I know. I was thinking that too. Yeah. It's just so good. I've been thinking about Twin Peaks a lot lately. I think because that Red Letter Media video came out talking about The Return. It's a YouTube video.
Yep.
It's a YouTube channel that Will and I like a lot. I watched it and I've had Twin Peaks on the brain.
And I've been playing games by a company called Remedy. And they reference Twin Peaks all over the place. I think I told you about this. I may have even said it on the show. You go into this like small northwestern town, and one of the first places you visit is a diner. and it is just the Double R Diner, just the interior of the Double R Diner in there.
That's cool.
And then even playing an earlier game of theirs, you can turn on a TV and there's a character in a red room, like describing wacky Twin Peaks-esque things going on. It's just like, oh, I can feel the love for Twin Peaks all over everything this company makes.
Oh, that's
so cool. I've just had them on the brain.
Yeah. I also, on 90 Day Fiancé, there's a guy who lives in Washington, and he just took his fiance to the Great Northern. In the most recent episode, they went to like the waterfalls, and I was like,
cool.
Wait a second. They don't say it in the show, but I looked it up and I was like, that is the Great Northern.
You know, the one time Hunter Killer sent me out to Seattle, where one of the headquarters is, I was going to do a stage show of American Hysteria, which I did.
Yeah.
Chelsea put on the stage show, and it was wonderful. But I went out and I deliberately planned my trip to exist for like 2 days to not take up too much like time because I had other stuff that I had to do.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I think I'm too far from Snoqualmie to go see Twin Peaks stuff. And then I found out later I was like 20 minutes away from it.
Oh, really?
Didn't even go.
Oh, man.
Didn't go. Went to a restaurant called Twin Peaks, though.
I didn't realize how close you were. Oh, I know. I've seen that. I haven't been there.
Pretty different kind of place.
I've seen it before. It's like a Hooters.
Hot take. Don't go to the Twin Peaks restaurant. Yeah. It was embarrassing. Because I also realized I was like a traveling businessman.
Oh, yeah.
And I had gone there to try to get work done.
Yeah,
I did know its reputation, but I didn't think it would be quite what it was.
Hootie.
Oh my God, Kristen. It was women in like teeny tiny bikinis.
Really?
Oh my God. I don't know if I showed up on a particular weekend. Like even Hooters is like a shirt and shorts.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And even that I would feel kind of lecherous, but I was like, it's Twin Peaks, the restaurant. And like even their branding, it's the green outlined letters. Like they are playing off of Twin Peaks, the series, even if they say they're not.
Yes.
So I went there to take a picture.
Yeah.
Just to have something. And I was like, well, I'll go and maybe it'll be a story about how uncomfortable I am. And I've never really told it because it made me more uncomfortable than I thought.
Oh, man.
I walked in and everyone was like super duper in bikinis. All the other people in there are like lonely guys. And I was like, oh, I just want to work. Can I have like a booth that has like a plug by it? And I was like, I bet everyone who walks in is like, I'm just here to work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I bet everybody says what
God.
I just said.
Yeah.
And like I did the weird middle. I made the opposite choice of what I should have made. I tried to overcompensate to be like, I'm not a creep by like not making eye contact with people, which is extra creepy. I realized after the fact that I'm not even like acknowledging you as a human, you know? And so I was like facing the wall. I was facing the wall writing scripts in there for like an hour and a half.
Why did you stay? Why didn't you just get like a drink and leave?
I thought it would be weird also to get in there and then be like, all right, I'm going to go now. So it was at the time of Movie Pass. So I quickly got tickets for Godzilla versus Mothra or whatever. Remember the
I know what you're talking about.
King of Monsters maybe?
Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I got tickets for that. And it was like the movie would start at like midnight.
Yeah.
Like I just made like weird choices out there. And then I booked an Uber, and then I had them take me to the movie theater, and then I was like, I can't. I'm too tired. So I got out of the car and pretended to walk into the mall until the cab drove away, and then ordered a new car.
Oh, William.
I made the weirdest possible choices.
I totally get it. I've absolutely done things like that just out of awkwardness. I so understand.
I made like 15 weird choices in one night.
I completely understand. Oh, man. That's really funny. I didn't know that.
Humiliating.
Were they wearing like shorts or anything?
No.
Or were they in fully bikinis? Really?
Fully like string
That's
bikinis.
really weird.
I
didn't know that.
Uncomfortable.
That's really weird.
It was very weird. It was very weird. It was not what I expected. I thought that it would still be like, how you doing, hon? Like the South Park joke about like Hooters.
Yeah, I would have thought that too.
But no, it was just like, and it was just like, you know, like I used to work in like a TGI Fridays, and I know that all the bartenders are like, this sucks.
Yeah,
you know, so I was like, I can't believe I'm buying a sandwich in here.
Weird.
It's like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been to Twin Peaks is what I'm trying to tell you.
Look at that. Huh, I did not know that.
And that's why I like Twin Peaks season 2.
Yeah, right. I'm sorry. I didn't know that happened. I just want to mention, I just remembered just this morning, I know I've mentioned on the show before, I love YouTube ambiance videos. If you just Google ambiance, it'll be like haunted house or ambience. I never know how to say words anymore. Ambiance. What is it?
ambiance.
So yeah, like there are all these cool like atmospheric ambiance videos, and there's one from a YouTube channel called Calmed by Nature that is ALLLL diner themed.
Oh.
I was doing my work to it this morning.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's great.
I can't believe I didn't go to the ALLLL. I was right there.
It sounds like you didn't know that you were right there.
I had no idea.
Yeah, so.
I also deliberately stayed at like a Super 8 motel because like, well, there's a whole story of why I did some of the things I did. But I went out there, and when I got into my room, the lock didn't work, and it was like a trucker motel. And it was nowhere near the center of Seattle.
Oh my God.
So every time that I like went into the Hunt a Killer office out there, and it was like a 30-minute Uber ride.
Oh my God.
I just made the worst choices. And then I'd be like, I know I'm going to get back to my room and all my stuff is going to be gone.
Yeah, right.
So this lock doesn't work. What's going on? The whole place smelled like cigarettes. Like, I could not have gotten out of Seattle faster.
I know. I remember you were not happy.
I basically landed and came home. I landed, dressed like the devil, and stood on a stage, and then went home.
And you hung out in that hotel room a lot, I remember.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm just going to stay here and just like...
I don't think I should leave my stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oy. All right, let's move on to another hot take, and this one is from JD. He says, we wouldn't believe a time traveler if they came back and told us they were a time traveler. At best, they would likely be born decades, if not hundreds of years prior to the time they returned to. Any past events they tell us about could be learned by anyone, and any future events they tell us about couldn't be verified. The idea of them being able to say, on Tuesday, April 27th at 11:14 p.m., a man in a red shirt will drop his coffee and yell wanker at your favorite coffee shop is almost impossible, even with time travel. Other than our own lives and those very close to us, we don't have access to the minutiae that could prove we are from the future to any one person.
Rebuttal.
Okay.
I think I have a rebuttal.
Okay.
So if I understand, basically, if the time travelers from the past...
And they tell us something that we could look up. We're just like, well, you looked that up.
But yeah, if I looked that up, so could you. So,
yeah.
If they're from the future, then it's like, well, they couldn't tell us something that would be super convincing... Because, like, maybe the thing that
we won't know that we not believe them.
But here's the thing,
yet.
Kristen, how did old Biff convince young Biff? How did he do it?
Oh, he told him something that he couldn't have known.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what was it? What was it? Kristen, what was it?
It was the sports on the radio.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he read the scores in the book and turned up the radio, and they heard them happen.
If you narrate something happening in real time.
Yep.
Then it proves how could you have possibly known that, and you have no control over this. It's a sports game or whatever.
Yep. It's something outside your control.
Yep.
It's broadcast, and it's big enough.
Yeah.
So minutia not needed. We don't need it to be somebody in a red coat will come into a bar and scream at you or whatever. That would be too small. Go big. National news.
Or I was going to say predict something that is going to happen 5 minutes in the future.
Sure.
That you couldn't have known, but also like it's proven because it happened in front of the person.
Let's get weird too. Why would a time traveler come back to a particular date that had no significance? They'd probably come back to a date that had some significance in some way, shape, or form.
That's true.
So therefore they can be like, the person who's going to win the next election is this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I see what you're saying, JD. I do think it would be difficult, especially with those things. But I think that what Will and I are saying, as long as you're playing within the day that you are visiting the person who's in their current timeline, I think you can convince them.
If your goal, this is specific to somebody coming to the past from the future, though.
Right.
So if your goal is to travel to the past and convince people that you've done that, don't pick a random day where you don't know anything. Pick a day that you're traveling to that you can prove something. If it's really essential for you to say, here's what's going to happen, here's how I can tell you I'm from the future, pick a momentous occasion.
I also think it depends, like if you know the person who you're going to come in contact with, if you tell them something about themselves that you're aware of because you're from the past, but nobody else would really know, that could also turn
Or from
them.
the future.
Yeah.
If somebody's coming from the past and they need to convince you that they're from the past, that's trickier, I think.
Let me see. So
because they have no knowledge of future events.
Current events.
I'm from the 1300s. How can they convince me of that? I would argue they would need to have something in their possession that is only otherwise known as an antique.
I know. I was thinking something about lineage. If they can tell you something about your family lineage.
Yeah, but you could tell me that our great-great-great-great-grandma was like, her name was Giselle, and she could run really fast. Like, be like, okay. I mean, what?
But what if you have something that they then have in the future? But would you be able to be holding that thing while they have that thing in the present day?
And if I'm from the past, how do I know what my, descendants have in their possession of mine?
Well, that's why I was saying it would be something that you have. Like if I this isn't a thing, but let's say I had a ring of our great-great-great-great-grandma's.
Sure.
That's been in the family. And somebody comes to me and they're like, look, I know your great-great-great-great-grandma. Here's her ring. And I'm like, I do have that ring. That is a thing.
But that's happenstance. Because the person from the past doesn't know that you still have that before they come here.
I know.
Right?
It would just have to be a lucky guess, I guess.
I think it would have to be, because, yeah, you're right. JD's right. You can't just be like, here's how I can prove them from the past. It was a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's not proof.
I know.
I think that it would have to be, here is an object from my time that couldn't be made today.
Yeah.
And it's in pristine condition.
Yeah.
I think it would have to be something like that.
That's pretty good. Yeah. It is tough. It is tough for past to present.
It's tough for past people to prove they're time travelers.
But I think it can be done.
Most time travelers don't want to prove that they've traveled through time.
Yeah, they're trying to avoid.
But
sometimes they need to convince somebody in the present day.
That's true. Maybe somebody from the past was trying to invent a time machine and it worked, but they didn't know where it was bringing them, and it's bringing them to the year 2021.
Right.
So now they've got to be like, my time machine works.
Yeah, but
I can't prove to you.
Yeah.
How am I going to prove to you that I'm from the past? Future people can prove it. Past people can't. I think that's what we're really learning.
Yeah, I think that that's probably true. So that is pretty in line with what JD is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, William, hit me with another one of your hot takes in just a moment.
Yeah, okay.
After we tell the people a little bit about ourselves.
Sure.
So if you like this show and you want to support the show and thank us for putting it out every week for free, we would really, really appreciate it if you went to patreon.com/GTTUpod. There you can donate to us, and if you do so for $4 or more per month, you get access to a secret podcast that's only for patrons that comes out monthly called The Netherworld Dispatch. You also get access to things like Scream commentaries.
Yeah.
We did all of the Scream movies, and we talk during them, and we teach you how to sync it up so it's like you're watching it with us and hearing our thoughts on it. We have a private Discord just for patrons that's popping off every single day with really, really nice people talking about all kinds of stuff. Discord is basically like a chat room that has different sections in it. So there's like food, cute pets, movie and TV recommendations. It's very, very awesome. And we also do fun live streams, game playthroughs, other fun stuff here and there. But mostly, it really helps keep the show going, and we so appreciate it. So thank you so much to our current patrons for being over there.
Yeah, Guide to the Unknown's Patreon is like Guide to the Unknown Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's like Guide to the Unknown Plus.
There's like a bunch of like secret shows over that you don't know about.
Yeah.
But even with those Scream commentary tracks, you can listen to them as you watch the movie, or you can watch us as we're talking about the movie, which is kind of fun too.
Yeah.
And even, we've talked a lot about Scream on this show, obviously. We're both gigantic fans.
Clearly.
But you've probably never heard us talk about like particular scenes of the Scream movies. But if you check out the commentary tracks, you'll see us be like, oh, this scene in the police station in Scream 2. Hey, everybody, look at the left side of the frame. Look at the set design.
Yes.
Like, we can point out weird things for you to catch that you might not otherwise see.
Right.
And there would be no reason for us to bring up in casual conversation here.
Totally.
So, yeah, check those out. Those are super fun. When Scream 5 is out, we got to find a way.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right?
Of course.
But, yeah, check that out. Make sure that you hit up tpublic.com/GTTUpod.
/user/GTTUpod.
Right, of course. Yep. Yeah, sorry. You can get Guide to the Unknown masks, shirts, buttons and pins, stickers. Get a bunch of stickers, slap them all over your stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. There are magnets, mugs. It's very cool. So tpublic.com/user/GTTUpod.
You can put a magnet in a mug and spill it all over your shirt.
How cool would that be?
Come on.
Such fun.
So much fun.
Yeah. So go check that stuff out, and you can find links for all of that at gttupod.com.
All right. So my next hot take, it's hard for me to maybe voice this one entirely because it's a little hypocritical.
Okay.
Excessive gore in horror movies, to me, is kind of lame.
William, you already know I'm right with you. I'm on record as saying I don't really love gore.
But here's the problem.
Yeah.
The so-called torture porn subgenre of horror, popularized by the Saw movies.
Sure.
I don't think that falls into this category for me.
Okay.
I think that for the Saw movies, which I think are wonderful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think that the gore in there is not excessive necessarily.
It's like The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel excessive because it feels like the point almost, at least in the sequels.
It's part of the framework. Yeah,
Yeah.
The Thing is another great example where there are a lot of excessively gory things that happen. I think the and I'm trying to articulate this in the moment, but I think that part of it is that the way that violence works in the Saw franchise and in the movie The Thing, it's part of the fabric of the entire movie.
Yeah, it's part of the plot.
Yeah, and I don't think that it's usually meant to be a distraction or something like that, or an excuse.
Yeah.
We never have a movie moment as an excuse to just get some gore.
Right.
Although in Saw 3D, there's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
which is stupid. But
like it's, it's The Thing.
It's the
with those movies.
I agree. Yes,
yeah,
of course.
It's the draw.
But I'm thinking about like Hostel.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Have you seen Hostel?
Fuck. Oh, excuse me.
Whoa!
No, I have not seen Hostel.
Good luck learning how to bleep.
I've bleeped before.
You have?
Yes.
You'll bleep again?
Yeah.
Hostel made me want to throw up.
Well, I'm never seeing that.
And it felt to me like the entire movie was an excuse to get to moments of people being tortured and dismembered.
Yeah. It sounds disgusting.
I think that there is low key, something of a culture around people who especially love particularly violent and visceral movies because they think that it makes them somewhat superior horror fans, or like they're true fans. And I also resent that. Just because I don't need to see a lady's eyeball dangle out of its socket in Hostel, that doesn't make me any less of a horror fan.
Yeah, I get that.
Right?
Yeah, I do get that. I was thinking about that recently with something. I was like, on this show, I believe, I was talking about something, and I was like, I'm not a prude, but I was like, maybe I am a little bit of a prude or something in some ways. Like,
I can handle quite a bit.
Yeah, I can too.
I can handle quite a bit. Again, I watched Cannibal Holocaust recently for this show, knowing full well that they kill animals on screen.
Yeah.
So I avoided those moments.
Right.
I think that there are people that treat it like a badge of honor.
I know.
To put themselves through it.
I know. And so I was thinking about myself, calling myself a prude. I think it was something that was like, I was talking about sleazy movies. That's what it was. About stuff being like sleazy and sexual or something. I was like, I'm not a prude. And then I was like, maybe I am a little bit of a prude. I'm not offended by it or like shaken by it, but I do not like it. I think it's like stupid a lot of the times.
Yeah.
So maybe that does qualify me as a prude. And then I have this like horrible habit I'm trying to break of like zooming out and thinking like, if other people knew this thing that I'm thinking in my head, what would they say about me?
Right.
And I was like, well, I guess I'm less of like a cool horror fan because I like don't want to see stuff like that. And like, I am afraid of gore. And then I was like, I bet people who listen to the show sometimes are like, she doesn't even like horror. She doesn't like gore. She doesn't like whatever. And then I was like, Kristen, stop it. Pattern interrupt.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Everything's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure that there are people that enjoy these things that don't fall into the sort of like pretension camp that I'm describing.
Yeah.
I know that there are
course.
people that just like appreciate, well done effects.
Yeah.
But I also do think that like, I don't know, Hostel for whatever reason is my lightning rod here. Rob Zombie's movies, or maybe another, where it just feels like the entire movie is an excuse to get to see intensity like that.
Yeah.
And I think that is not storytelling. I think a movie is storytelling, and it feels to me like Hostel just wants to have like a 10-minute gore scene. So they have to construct a movie around it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah. Like first those ideas for like a gnarly scene of gore are there, and then they kind of have to work backwards from there to integrate that into the rest of the story or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean,
the rest of the story is an excuse to get there, rather than I'm telling a story and gore is part of that story.
Yeah.
Which is what Saw feels like to me.
Yeah.
Saw to
totally.
me feels like it is, and it's admittedly like sort of like an amusement park, dark horror amusement park version.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're telling a horrific story, so horrific things are going to happen here. Versus like, well, I really want to tell a story of like, what if there's an underground club where they kill you and you can pay to kill someone?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, that's an idea, not a story.
Yeah.
So you have to write something around that.
To turn that into a
but
story.
But you just want that one idea done.
Yeah.
You don't really care about the other part. You just want the idea.
And I think it's probably what the idea is, because I think a lot of good stories do start as an idea and then figuring it out from there. But the idea being like super violent and hardcore. I think that and I think you too, like bristle against people who just want to do something for like the hardcoreness of it.
Yes. That's definitely
that
true.
does feel very present in movies like that.
Yes. Okay.
At least from what I know of them, because I haven't seen a lot of them.
Right.
So I might be being a little unfair, but that does seem like what's going on, and I also don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like hardcore. Whatever.
No, I don't
like,
either.
Maybe I like stuff that some people would call hardcore. Maybe I don't like some stuff that other people would say, is awesome or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But again, everything's a spectrum. Everybody can like whatever they like. But this is my particular taste. I think excessive gore for the sake of the gore is kind of lame.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I hear you there. Okay, here is my next hot take. I think that having a TV in the bedroom, which a lot of people say is a no-no, I think it's ingenious.
Okay, it's time for a real debate.
I think this is fantastic, this TV in the bedroom.
Okay.
And here is how it relates to scary movies and Guides to the Unknown kind of stuff. You know how there's that idea of pulling the covers up over your eyes when something is scary or like, shielding yourself? You can literally do that in your bed during a scary movie. My God. You also have the comfort of your bed to kind of even out the tension of what you're watching on screen. You are at your safest, almost, nestled in your bed, and you can enjoy a very scary movie with that safety a little bit. Now, I know that there are issues with this. I'm not saying that this is a complete black and white issue. You have brought your fear to bed with you then in this case, because if you're watching a scary movie in bed, sure, your bed is comforting you, but then you just have to sit in it.
Oh no, I brought my fear to bed.
And now you're supposed to go to bed. Nightmares. That could be a factor if you're watching a scary movie in your room at night. So you might want to do a palate cleanser. Part of what I am saying and notice is that I understand, and I for a long time didn't have a TV in my room, that you don't want to mess with your sleep. The temptation to stay up all night is right there then. But who the hell are we kidding in this day and age? You're probably sitting in your bed watching stuff on your phone anyway. And that is probably worse because you're blasting blue light directly into your eyes. No. Get yourself a TV in your bedroom.
Okay, rebuttal time.
Okay.
Number one, you are absolutely correct. I don't have a TV in my bedroom, and yet I do stay up and stare at my phone all night.
Right. Potential
fix one. A lot of phones have night mode. Get rid of the blue light.
You're still staying up looking at it.
I couldn't agree more, and I am certainly guilty of it. But here's the thing. If I had a TV in my bedroom, I would almost definitely also be on my phone. Are you on your phone?
No.
And with the TV in there?
No. I've told you, I'm not usually on my phone when I'm watching stuff. I just watch the thing.
Oh, yeah. See, I can't do that anymore.
I literally can't do the other. I get sensory overload very easily.
Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, that is my rebuttal to that notion, is that I think that it would just be yet more overdone. I shouldn't be on my phone.
Okay.
Way too late. I know that. But I think adding a TV to the mix is not.
I guess for me, if I'm watching a TV show, there's the end to the show, and maybe I could go to sleep. I guess you're right. I guess if I was on my phone as well, it is just another thing.
Here's my next question. What are you doing? You setting up a sleep timer on this TV?
To tell you the truth,
or
I don't
you're waking up at 2 a.m. and the room is sort of just lit up by garbage that's on TV.
I don't have a self-control problem with the TV in my room. So I almost never watch it during the week when I'm in bed going to bed. It's really kind of like a weekend treat that Ryan and I will be watching something in the living room and be like, why don't we go watch this in bed or whatever.
Okay.
Ryan does watch the TV in our room sometimes for going to sleep. Luckily, I'm a pretty heavy sleeper, and I will fall asleep while he's watching the thing. And then I don't know what his situation is. I guess he wakes up and realizes that he needs to turn it off, or he's getting sleepy and he turns it right off.
I'd be curious to know.
I'll find it. It hasn't been a problem for me. It has only been a wonderful, nice thing to be able to be comfortable in my bed and watch the TV at the same time.
I'll tell you the exact scenario that I would enjoy of this. Falling asleep with a talk show on. I love talk shows. I used to have a TV in my bedroom as a kid when we lived with mom and dad. I definitely had TVs in my room.
Oh, me too.
But I did definitely have the problem of, I wake up at 5 a.m. and there's a weird infomercial of Larry King trying to make me buy gold.
Right. I guess I should also say our TV in our bedroom, maybe there are some conditions that make this work for my lifestyle. Our TV in our bedroom is not hooked up to cable. It's just the smart TV. So we're really only watching Netflix or Amazon or whatever.
Oh, so you don't have live television just endlessly rolling. Yeah, I even had a TV in the era of live television not being the thing. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's only hooked up for smart TV in our bedroom.
See, what it used to be for me is either live television, then Larry King's trying to get me to buy gold.
Right.
A real actual thing.
Yes.
Where I was like, why is this guy obsessed with telling me to get...
Yeah, why does he love gold so much?
Who are you, gold member? Should I be hearing this while I'm asleep so that he's hypnotizing me into getting gold?
Right.
What is this? And it was treated like the news. He was like, coming up next, we'll learn more benefits of gold.
I know.
What?
I know. It's like how Amazing Discoveries was that show. That was like an infomercial show, but it made it look like a talk show that was just telling you useful information.
Sure. So it was either that or I wake up at 4 a.m. because the DVD menu for Knocked Up is blaring music.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But both of those eras are gone.
Yes.
Much as I love physical media still, Kristen.
Oh my God.
But that's interesting because Netflix will eventually say, are you still watching?
And it'll just stop.
And it'll be a black screen.
Yeah. It's not been a problem. And seriously, I would say for most people, you're on your phone looking at a thing anyway. Let's call a spade and just turn that into a TV.
This is going to be very interesting. First of all, I can tell you this. The missus will never go for it.
I know. I understand. I
think it's a moot point.
That's why this is a hot take. This is even a suggestion. I'm just saying a TV in your room, it's baller. Why'd I say that? Baller.
Because it sounds cool and you sound cool for saying it.
Yeah, you sound
Sorry,
cool.
I'm really thinking about it because I'm like,
what's the
this?
difference?
Are you convincing me?
What's the difference,
Maybe
Will?
you're convincing me.
You're on your phone.
Time will tell. We'll see what happens.
I know Aliana is on her phone in bed too.
No, Allie's...
No?
No. Plus, you know what I like? I like a nice, dark room.
I do too.
When I'm going to sleep, even if I'm like listening to something on my phone or something, man, turn that screen right off.
Yeah, I do too. Ryan likes a little light.
Pitch.
So I've had to concede.
Scared of the dark?
Scared of the dark he is.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. He likes a little light. We both get up to go to the bathroom like a million times a night, so maybe that's why. But
quit bragging.
I know. But so I've had to concede on that point.
Okay. Hot take.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can at least applaud a hot take.
I know it's against the usual advice. And, you would think because I usually am interested in what's going to help us live better, what's going to help us sleep better, you would think I would say, no, TV in the bedroom. Right. Your sleep is so important. I do think it's important.
I do like having the one TV in the living room or, the 4 down here.
Right.
Literally 4 TVs are on right now.
Yeah.
In this room.
Yeah.
Interesting. Good hot take.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's move over to some hot takes from our listeners. This is a quick one. I like it. It's quick, pithy from Julie. Julie says, Gizmo from Gremlins looks a lot like a koala. Boom.
Hot take noted.
Boom.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed. Stamp of approval on that hot take, Julie.
Hot take approved.
Thank you very much. And actually, with the format of this, what we're going to do, Will, we're going to go back to a couple of our own hot takes, and we're going to finish up with a listener one.
Okay, that sounds
William,
good to me.
You do another hot take.
Okay, let's go with this. I don't like American Psycho.
I don't like American Psycho either.
I don't like it, I think, maybe at all.
I don't like it either. The book is very disturbing.
I tried reading the book, and I think halfway through the user agreement guide for a Yamaha receiver, I stopped reading.
I know. American Psycho, I'm sorry to interrupt your hot take, but I'm agreeing with you and adding on to it. American Psycho is one of the things where in my early 20s, I wanted to like it. I thought it was cool.
You're supposed to like it.
And so I'm sure I told somebody at some point that I like it.
Yes.
But I've never liked it.
I
was lying.
Kristen, that's another reason why this is a hot take. I've almost certainly told people that I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I like about American Psycho?
What?
The Huey Lewis scene.
Yeah.
It's probably it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of fun. It's very broad. It's campy.
Yeah.
It's Jason Bateman.
Patrick Bateman.
Played by Jason Bateman.
Played by Jason Bateman. That's right. Christian Bale.
Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman.
Isn't it weird that Jared Leto is in that movie?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in so many movies, especially in the 90s. Like, he was popping up all over the place.
Mm-hmm. But when he puts on that plastic suit thing and he gets out that axe, that's great.
No, that is great.
That scene is wonderful.
Yes.
When he's like, killing a dog in an alley or like a homeless guy or covered in sweat and like shaking and stuff and like,
no,
can't do it. Don't even dig the like 80s iconography, the big cell phone, the face peel scene where he's putting on all his beauty products or doing some push-ups and some tidy whities. Don't care.
Don't need it.
Don't care. Don't need it. Show me the Paul scene. We out.
The what scene?
The Paul scene. The
Paul scene?
Hey, Paul.
Oh,
okay. The accident.
Yeah.
The Huey Lewis scene.
That's right.
That's it. I don't like it.
I completely agree. Have you ever read the book?
I tried to. I'm telling you.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You just said
he speaks through describing designer things, which I get it.
No,
right?
I get it.
Like, I understand.
I would go so far as to say that I don't think I've liked any Bret Easton Ellis things that I've read, and I bet I said I liked them.
It's the only Bret Easton Ellis thing I've tried to read.
I also read, what the hell is it called?
Rules of Attraction?
Yes, Rules of Attraction. And
you know that Patrick
else?
Bateman's brother or cousin or something is the main character of that.
I do know.
I sort of respect the universe building of that notion, but I don't care.
No, I don't either. The American Psycho is very disturbing because it's just him thinking horrible things about women a lot, and it made me paranoid. Like, are all guys thinking stuff like this? They probably are thinking a degree of this. Oh my god!
It's just reveling in the worst possible qualities a person can have.
Yeah.
And I just find it very uncomfortable.
Me too.
Very
it's just
unpleasant.
And
seriously, I got maybe 20 pages into the book where he's like, I was wearing a Brooks Brothers power suit, slate gray, pinstriped, inseam is a 32.
Yeah.
Like, just like, oh my God, the list making. Like, I get it. It's the neurosis of the character. He's about the pretense. He's about the commercialism. He's about the appearance of poise and wealth. I get it. The message has been delivered.
Yes, received.
But we're now talking about his Panasonic record player that spins at 33 and a third RPM, and the needle point is so fine. And I'm just like, oh,
I know.
What's the story? Get me out of here. So I pulled the escape cord on that book. And the movie, I'm telling you, I can appreciate. Again, the message is delivered.
Yeah, I get it.
And the message is fine.
Yep.
I don't particularly care for the message, but it's fine.
Whatever.
The means of conveyance I find incredibly unpleasant.
Yes, it completely is. I would say that losing that aspect of myself of like thinking I should like something, so I will read it or watch it and then like assert that to myself. Growing out of that is one of the best parts of getting older.
Yeah.
I would say if you haven't grown out of that yet, that's okay. But like, I would encourage, you can let yourself do it and you'll be totally fine.
It's okay to be like, hey, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
You can also, here's what I really like, because I still sense that I'm a very intense personality. I make sweeping claims a lot.
Sure.
I like having a debate about something. Not the act of not liking something doesn't have to be the end of a conversation. A lot of people, when you go like, oh, I didn't like that, becomes like, oh. I kind of like being like, oh, what didn't work for you, or what didn't you like, or like, let's think about this, let's like look under the hood. I still find those things to be opportunities for good discussion. So even if I don't like something, I probably will like talking to somebody who did like it.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah,
I'm thrilled for anybody to like something.
Yeah.
It's wonderful when you find something that you're into.
Yeah.
So I just like debate nonetheless. So I say, feel free to be yourself, everybody. If there's a movie that we like that you don't like, tell us you don't like it if you want to talk about it or whatever. Tell your friends that this movie, whatever, wasn't your cup of tea.
Yeah, of course.
It's all good. You be you.
Yeah, you be you. That was harder to do when I was younger, and it's gotten easier in some ways. And I would like to pass on to other generations to just, if you don't like a thing, you can ditch it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here is my final hot take. I don't think vampires are sexy at all.
Have you seen Lestat?
I don't think they're cool at all.
You seen the ponytail on Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt?
I don't like them. I'm just gonna read. Oh my god, I forgot I wrote this. I was like on one. Their overconfident swagger is in fact a turnoff. They're F-boys and girls, and they're also dorks. They're dusty, crusty, and musty. Get yourself a live boy.
Whoa, that's a scathing indictment.
I don't like them. They are not for me. I don't find them sexy and suave at all.
Come on, have you not seen Bela Lugosi?
I know. When we were recording our Dracula episode, I almost said something about how it's funny that like the pinnacle of ultimate like teeming sexuality in a person is Bela Lugosi.
I know, it's some guy leering at you from behind a cloak.
Yeah, right.
You know.
But no, I don't like it. I don't like their whole deal. I know that that's a thing, and it's not for me.
That's interesting. Stephen Dorff in Blade.
Mm-hmm. I actually haven't seen Blade.
You haven't seen Blade?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, okay.
No, I do find Stephen Dorff an attractive man in general.
All right, Udo Kier in Blade.
I haven't seen Blade. I just told you that.
Who played the dad in Grounded for Life?
Oh, Donald Logue?
Donald Logue in Blade.
I also do think Donald Logue is cute. He's in Blade?
Yeah. He dies like 3 seconds in. Oh. Or maybe he survives.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean, I know, I get it. I get why vampires are like their own whole thing. And that maybe there's a danger element there and stuff. But seriously, I find them very cocky.
They're very cocky.
And cockiness doesn't go the distance. Again, when I was younger, would I fall for cockiness? Sure. But today, for me, the same way gore and extremeness is lame, I find it lame.
What about Jacob or Edward or whatever?
I do like Robert Pattinson. And he's not pulling a cocky vampire thing in Twilight, I don't think.
No, he's like a mumblecore heart on his sleeve.
And
vampire.
I'm also not attracted to him in that either.
He's quite pale.
His
lips are very vibrant.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to throw up at one point.
It looks like he just got a cherry pie. Mm-hmm. Went to town.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
No, that's the other.
He looks like he's been drinking, like Hawaiian punch in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
Right? Aren't his lips very red?
I think they are. That's what I'm picturing. I think they are because the rest of them is so pale.
Yeah. Now you're a pale person.
I am a pale person. People have called me a vampire many times. I think I'm pretty hot and cool. PHET, pretty hot and tempting.
But when you see the kind of pale that
I don't mind
Twilight
paleness.
is,
I'm specifically talking
they're
about
dead.
Yes.
They don't have blood moving through their veins.
Famously, a psychology teacher asked me once if I'm really that pale and told me I looked sick. So I guess I'm not that far away from an undead vampire. What I'm specifically talking about is the cocky, confident vampire who pulls you in, and people are like, ooh, like a Lestat thing. It does not do it for me at all.
I'm not kidding. Have you seen Interview with the Vampire?
I have.
Okay. Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in that movie.
Yeah.
They're like ponytails and they're like powdered wigs.
Yes.
Whatever they're wearing. It's like.
Yes.
Ugh.
But people were into it.
David Boreanaz.
No.
Angelus.
Not into Angelus.
Really? Spike?
Not into Spike.
Huh.
No.
The Master?
Wait.
Remember that guy? It's like a season 1 character of Buffy. He's only ever shot in like a cave that's clearly a soundstage somewhere else.
Which I love.
It looks like some Power Rangers, bad guy is over here, and he looks like Nosferatu.
I know.
Yeah, you're not wooed by the Max Shrek in Nosferatu.
Like I'm telling you, you would be hard pressed to find a vampire in pop culture that I think is hot stuff.
Willem Dafoe in Shadow of the Vampire.
I know it's a thing that vampires have like a hotness to them, and it does not affect me. I'm immune.
Let me just
I'm
Google
immune to their powers.
Sexiest vampires. Let's see what happens.
All right, sure.
If I Google this, will this be a
And
problem?
I'll be honest, if one of them I'm like, oh, I actually think they're like pretty attractive, I'll tell you. But I don't think that I've ever gotten it.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Okay.
So, this guy, who's he?
He's Boone from Lost, and he was on the Vampire Diaries.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, this is an article called 12 of the Hottest Vampires to Ever Bless Our Screen from Frolic.
I'm not aware of Frolic.
From frolic.media.
I wonder what this is about, this website.
Would you frolic with Jasper Cullen?
No, I would not.
Okay. Would you frolic with Laurent?
I would not.
Okay. Brad Pitt in Shadow the Vampire. Now, mind you, it's Brad Pitt, but also, mind you, he has yellow eyes.
I know. This one is
It's a little distracting.
This one is this is tripping me up a little bit, but
there's also modern day Brad Pitt in the movie. I think he's wearing a black suit and just looks like normal Brad Pitt except for the yellow contact
yeah, I know
lenses.
that's the thing. He just looks like Brad Pitt. So I don't think this one's totally fair because he's not like. No, you know what? Would I? No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, I wouldn't.
All right, we already said Edward Cullen.
Nope.
Emmett Cullen.
I think, look, I want to be generous to Emmett Cullen. I don't know him. Sorry to this man. Remember that meme?
What? No, what is that?
Oh my God, it's so
I don't
funny.
know him.
I don't know. It's so funny to me. For some reason, I've been thinking about it lately. Keke Palmer did an interview with Vanity Fair where they were showing her like pictures, kind of maybe like this, showing her pictures of people to comment on. And they show her picture of Dick Cheney. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know who this man is. She goes, I could pass him on the street and I wouldn't know a thing. And she says, sorry to this man. And like touches the picture.
I could pass him on the street and I wouldn't know a thing.
I wouldn't know a thing.
That's so funny.
Sorry to this man. Sorry to this man. I don't know Emmett Cullen, but it looks like he just came out of a river or something based on what's behind him. And his like hair is flattened to his forehead. So I feel like he looks extra not great.
Also, I'm sorry, Emmett Cullen?
Yeah, I know. Emmett Cullen.
Emmett.
So no to Emmett. No.
Lesser known Cullen cousin.
Yeah, right. No.
That's like Cousin Eddie in National Lampoon.
Yeah, right.
Don't invite Emmett.
Poor Emmett.
Anyway. Marcel Gerard. I have no idea. They're not saying what movie these characters are from or anything.
Well, this guy is pretty good looking.
Well, he's dressed like Neve Campbell in Scream 3.
Oh my God, he is. No wonder I'm attracted to him. He's okay. Yeah.
He's all right?
Yeah,
He's got a brown jacket over like a
is.
green shirt with a chain on.
And
it's
and a V-neck.
Can I just double
That's
check?
probably why.
Neve
Probably what I'm
Campbell,
responding to.
Scream 3. So I'm pretty sure this is how she's dressed.
Yes.
And
yes.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
As
it's
always.
a hoodie. Okay, but the hoodie still kind of comes to a little bit of a V in the front.
Who cares? I'm right.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's dressed just like Neve Campbell.
He's dressed exactly
That's
like Neve Campbell.
so funny. But that guy is a maybe.
Okay.
A lot of it is the vibe they put out. So I'm visually looking at that guy and he's an attractive guy. But if he's going to do some like cocky vampire stuff, I'm going to be like, ugh, pass.
Okay. Lestat de
No,
Lioncourt.
absolutely not.
Tom Cruise with a voluminous length of blonde hair.
Absolutely not. No.
David Bananas as
Not
Angel.
David Bananas. Nope. I can even tell from the picture looking very cocky.
God. Who's this?
No, that
Eric
is
Northman.
He's from True Blood, which I haven't seen, but nope.
Okay. Stefan Salvatore. They have great names.
Yeah, they do.
Can
Nope.
I just say? And Michael Emerson
Nope.
from Lost,
Not from Lost, the Lost Boys.
who played Ben Linus.
No.
No.
No, the only one who comes close is Brad Pitt looking pretty normal, but his eyes are yellow.
Yeah.
And he's looking very intense. And even that's probably a no.
No, because it looks like Brad Pitt has rabies.
Yeah, he looks like a not well Brad Pitt, although I love Brad Pitt.
Right.
Okay. So I'm
So
not attracted to vampires.
Your hot take has been proven. You went through the gauntlet.
Yes.
And you have proven.
And that's a hot take because it's a thing that like, oh, vampires are hot. Not for me, they're not.
Yeah.
They give off an F-boy energy, and I don't like it. That's the whole problem, really. I don't like their vibe and energy.
Seriously, whenever you say, vampires are supposed to be hot, I just think of Max Schreck as Nosferatu creeping around a corner and sneering and stuff. Yeah.
Him, weirdly, I'm attracted to.
One of the most sensual characters of all time.
Right. Ever put on celluloid. Okay. So let's finish off with a hot take from Caitlin.
And this is the last hot take.
This is the last hot take altogether.
Feel free to send in more, everybody.
Yes, this is so fun.
GTTUpod@gmail.com or
Yes.
at GTTUpod on social media. I could seriously just sit around talking about this forever.
Me too.
But this is the last one we've got.
This is the last one, and I love it. Okay. They say, one that I'm not sure is a hot take, but I think about a lot. I don't understand the widespread agreement that Heather Donahue from Blair Witch is obnoxious and invited her fate through arrogance. I think she's smart, ambitious, and fun. My pet theory is that the entity in the woods singled her out for the same reason the Blair townspeople singled out Ellie Kedward. She was a woman who rocked the boat and didn't fit in with prescribed behavior for women at the time.
That is very interesting. That is very interesting.
I think that's a really cool theory. That makes me wonder, so like with this theory, if she wasn't the one to come in, are there people who are walking through those woods and who aren't having interference from the witch because they don't have this kind of personality that is, well, not the witch, but they don't have the personality that is aggravating the entity in this way.
Yeah.
It's an interesting thought.
It's a very interesting thought. Boy, what to say. So Heather Donahue is interesting because Heather Donahue is two people. Heather Donahue is the Blair Witch character, and Heather Donahue is the Blair Witch performer.
Right.
Who played Heather Donahue, the character.
Right.
I think that Heather Donahue, the performer, is also misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I think that her performance in the movie is terrific.
Me too.
The movie went through a weird up and down where people were like, it's so authentic. Is it all real? And then they were like, it's all made up and we hate them.
Yeah, right.
And Heather Donahue's performance is mocked, where I think she's wonderful.
I do too. And I think that I think the real life critique of her performance basically boils down to what you're saying about the townspeople of Blair singling out ALLLL Kedward. Yeah, she's a woman and she's being very definitive.
Yes,
and strong.
I think she's looking to tell a story about something that ought not to be told. And maybe that's what lands her into hot water as well.
Yeah, and I think that the performance and Heather Donahue as a person is derided a little bit because she didn't come out and make a performance to make herself look good.
Yes.
And people accept that more in men than they do of any other gender. Any other gender, it's like annoying or too much or whatever.
Trying something.
Yeah.
Up to something.
Yeah, or just annoying and just like not your place. You should have been XYZ.
How dare you?
Yeah.
The potential parallel between the character of Heather Donahue and the character of ALLLL Kedward is very interesting.
I know.
I don't think, really thought about that before.
I like that too.
What I know about ALLLL Kedward is she was accused by children in town of taking their blood, which is what got her accused of witchcraft in the first place, and depending on the version of the story you believe, run out of town, into the woods, perhaps killed, perhaps hung, perhaps left to the elements, perhaps stretched on a rack. What was her crime? Why was she trying to take kids' blood, or why did they lie and say that?
Right.
That I don't know that I have a definitive on.
We don't really know. It could have been that she was doing that, and somehow the Blair Witch, the entity in the woods, was manipulating her into doing that. It could be that she was just doing it for whatever reason. It could be just that it wasn't true.
My personal theory has been that ALLLL Kedward was an early version of Rustin Parr. That Rustin Parr was compelled by the witch to kidnap and kill children. I think that ALLLL Kedward was also manipulated and forced.
That's also what I think, because it fits in perfectly.
Right. I don't think that ALLLL Kedward is the witch, for the record. But I love the Heather Ellie potential parallel there. That serves to maybe deepen the original movie in a really interesting way.
Yeah, right. And so it's interesting, the theory that the entity singled her out the same way it singled out Kelly. But so to what end maybe for Heather? Because I like this theory too, but now I'm thinking out loud. So when the entity singled out ALLLL Kedward or Rustin Parr, it was to carry out something terrible.
Right.
Could the witch have wanted Heather to kill Mike and Josh or something like that?
Right, yeah.
And she wasn't biting for whatever reason. Something in her, even though she didn't know that she was literally fighting against this. Could that have been the witch's motivation? And when she didn't do that, then the witch took them for herself.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting. I think
it's a cool theory.
The Heather story is what brings the 2016 movie crew out into those woods.
Right.
So in some way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly, Heather is the catalyst for more people ending up in that forest.
And so she, in that way, is kind of the new ALLLL Kedward.
Yeah.
So it fits really well into that.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thought. I hadn't thought about that before.
Cool thought. Yeah.
I want to plug and mention that Will has worked on the Hunt a Killer Blair Witch boxes. And if you go to huntakiller.com/Blair Witch, you can get these really awesome games that use like physical things that are clues, and there's a multimedia angle, and you play through this mystery. It's kind of like playing a movie, and Will wrote a lot of the stuff in there.
Yeah.
There are little guides to the unknown Easter eggs in it, and he also produced a bunch of it. So.
Yeah, I did. I got to do, as we're recording this, I'm sort of winding down my work on Blair Witch overall, but for the year that I've been working on this, I got to write bits of Blair Witch lore. I got to treat the Blair Witch franchise as research, watching all the movies and reading all the books and everything. I got to write puzzles. I got to cast performers, do sound design. I got to edit like bits and pieces of media for the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
And you may or may not hear Guide to the Unknown in that universe as well. Probably can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
But it's been super fun.
Yeah.
Definitely go check that out. huntakiller.com/Blair Witch. Maybe more to discuss in the future.
Yes, it's very, very, very cool. And thank you so much, Caitlin, for that hot take.
Yeah.
Because it really was thought-provoking. I hadn't thought about that before.
I know. I love talking about Blair Witch theories. Honestly, I feel like it's
that's part of why I like Blair Witch so much.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that the Blair Witch franchise is like sitting around a campfire telling a story and then continually going, what if, and what do you think that means? And well, let's think this through. I feel like it's such a playground.
I know, and it's all
ideas.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
And
it never feels bad.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And that's also why I love talking about like all of this hot take stuff.
Yep.
I love sitting and having to debate something or argue my way out of a paper bag or make a claim, plant a flag.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's so much fun to do.
It's awesome.
And this has been great.
It totally has. Thank you guys so much for sending those in. And by all means, send in more to gttupod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And make sure you go to gttupod.com where you can find our private Facebook group. You can find our merch store. You can find a link to our Patreon, patreon.com/gttupod. And we're happy to have you part of our little universe. So thank you very much.
That's right. If you want to follow us online, you can.
That's right. I'm at Chillin' Kristen.
And I'm at The Myth Traveler. So thank you so much. Hope that you've enjoyed these hot takes episodes.
Yeah.
They're like very fun to do.
Yes.
I find them to be like, they go down smooth for me. Yeah,
me too. I love them.
So we will be back next week to talk about more frightening, odd subject matter. But until that time comes, we must travel
back to the netherworld. Go we. Dum, 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 dum.
Now we're in the netherworld.
Here we are. Do a march.
This is what we do here.
It's really not so bad.
This is what I'm up to.
You'd think it'd be scarier.
No, it's nice.
That's fun. Cool.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Kristen, another one for the history.